Well, happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to the virtual happy hour here on a Wednesday. Dana, I got to put the days up there. I got to put those up there too. Days in quarantine. Yes, let's change those now to 39. Do it live on the air. How about that? 39 days here in the DFW. Glad you're along today. We got the open sign. Well, first off, happy hour signs up. So I pull that down. Open. We're open for business. Let's get all set up here. Glad you're logged on a Wednesday, but a busy day here. A little windy out here, so hopefully you guys can hear me. And if you are hearing me, thumbs up. I got one person out there, and all good. So we can actually bring this in and bring this down. There we go. And welcome to Virtual Happy Hour. Glad you're logged on a Wednesday. Oh man, how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing well. The idea for this little experiment, or whatever this was, an experiment early on, was to bring everybody together from all different walks of my social life, and we've all crossing paths. We've got multiple countries, many cities, and many places in between that I've stopped and said hello on the way. We all unite and try to occupy ourselves a little bit in this COVID era we live in. It is still a little odd. Now, granted, the headline news off the top is different states. Of course, we talked about this on Monday a bit because it came down on Monday, are starting to ease off the full throttle lockdown. But that doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. We've got a long way to go still, and there's still a lot to, especially here in Dallas Fort Worth. Yesterday, here in Dallas, the most COVID cases they'd had yet spiked. So in Fort Worth as well, Tarrant County, which is across the way, about 30 miles or so. So had their most cases ever, but yet it appears to be, for the most part, at least in this neck of the woods, sort of going to the direction. Depending where you live, all states are starting, not all, but the southern Georgias, the Tennessees, and saw Missouri today is going to let up a little bit going forward as well. So let's see. It says it's supposed to say something to know so I know I'm here. Something. Oh. Okay. I didn't even look who was here. I didn't even know who was even actually there. Mom, you're there though. Mom's actually there, right? She's there. Let's see. We'll bring her in live from Points Beyond. Mom, what's going on today? Hello. And
Hi.
how are you doing?
Over to you too. I'm telling you, the only way I can get through to you is to be on this, and I'm sorry. I adorn your screen with such a dappy old broad. But anyway, I had to get up early for a 9 o'clock Zoom meeting. This is getting to be a pain. But how else can we do it? Then
Over.
my friend Connie, who will probably be checking in pretty soon, she is about to jump off the windmill. We were doing West Texas, and she came. She called me and said, "Can we come over and sit in the driveway?" Well, it was too darn cold to sit in the driveway, so we sat in the garage on each side of the garage, about 10 feet from each other. So, and we talked for about an hour. So, anyway, that was my day, and um, it was semi-productive, I guess. I had to get up early and put on some makeup. That's scary.
Okay, well, your volume's a little low, but all good. Glad you're there. Yeah, Kevin, good to see you out there as well. Yeah, I was just. This is productive day in these parts here. The wife's been doing her school thing, and the dog's been barking, and I've been doing my thing. So all good. Any news in Indiana today that's worth telling?
And oh, I forgot to tell you, I did watch the Steakhouse, and it was good to see Ramsey Romano. I love that couple; they're just great. I did do that since I was up. So, can you hear me? Yeah. So, no, we're about the same. Carry out is still the thing. I don't know. I know. I don't know what our governor is still on hold about it. So we'll see. Hey, I'm getting used to it. I suppose that's crazy, but oh well, we'll manage somehow or the other. So Anyway, yeah, I can report good behavior.
Oh well.
I can't do anything.
Well, yeah, you kind
Can
of freeze.
my happiness for the day was I got a
Are you,
new wine opener. My other one bit the dust, and so I got my new wine opener in the mail today, and I am just I don't like that screw top thing, or the one you have to work so hard at. I like to have it done easy. So I posted a picture of it on Facebook. So you will. It was one of my episodes. Episodes wino. So there you go.
yeah, I
So
saw that. I saw that. I saw that. I don't know why my chat's not coming up today. It's kind of wonky. I had to replace the the internet box last week. Can't have bad internet these day and age. Then I was still getting bumped off upstairs. So I had to buy a route extender or booster or something. And
it's always
I don't
something,
know
isn't
what.
it?
I'm outside. This should be fine outside, but yeah, it's kind of a little slow today. So I'm kind of watching on my phone there. Jim, good to see you. Stephanie, good to see you. Ryan, good to see you. Everybody out there. I guess it'll catch up in a moment. But we got Mom Cam. She's up in Indiana and up there. So this new wine opener thing, Dealy Bopper, is it electronic or something?
No, it's electric. You take it off though; it charges. I've had one before, but that one was just not doing anything. So I'd had it for quite a long time. So I ordered a new one, and because I was I don't like to do that cranking stuff. That's too much work. So I've got to have it quick and easy. So the and my wine guy, I should have had when I took the picture. I should have had his wines in front because so I made a comment about him on the post that sorry, but your wines are sitting behind the Tempranillo that's in the front. And he said, "Well, why didn't you put me in front?" So I'm like, "Okay, next time I will." So anyway, so you always get grief somehow or the other. But anyway, yeah. So that was um, my happiness for the day is having, but it's charging now, so I have to open the old-fashioned way. It has to charge for 8 hours, of course.
Well, that the one that my father-in-law has is really cool. It's just like boom, it's
Yeah,
done. I mean, it
that's what
opens real fast. I mean, it's like
that's what this is too. And I've had one forever, but it finally went down the tube. I guess things do wear out after 4 or 5 years. So I asked your brother Chris as his expertise on what wine opener he used, and he gave me this, and he said it was cheap and you can get it Bed Bath & Beyond. So I just got it today. So I'm excited, like a kid in a candy shop.
what's for dinner tonight, Mom?
I just had leftover Wagyu beef hamburger and fries from that was my lunch. Actually, it was mid-afternoon from the artisan that I got yesterday, and then a little bit later on for my evening snack, I will have um, a, a fajita that your brother cooked and brought over with all the trimmings for me.
How
So,
about that?
so I have my own roving chef.
Oh, there we go. Oh, sorry about that. Just
Yeah,
trying to put the green room address up there. Oops, hold on. Why it's not
there's no
doing that?
comments coming across either.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay.
I don't know. It's not.
I'm
I don't know
probably
what's going
boring
on
them to
today.
tears.
I'm getting on my phone. I'm getting on my phone though, but I don't know what's. I
Well,
don't know
see,
what's.
lately I haven't been able to get on Facebook with you. I don't know why. I can only get you on Be Live.
Huh?
So, and I drive Gamery crazy. I know, trying to. Is he on yet? And that's why when you text, I thought, oh my. So I like your mask, by the way.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
I
What's
like
that?
your mask.
Oh yeah, yeah. My snorkeling
Yeah,
mask.
I think that might be good. What are you eating? Bacon? Oh, your sister just posted. Danny, the snorkel is a riot. I can't see what else she said. It went away. She just texted you.
Well, I'll have to check when I'm done with this
Yeah,
before I
she
have our
said
dinner. Been a busy day.
the snorkel is a riot. She said, but I didn't get to read
Yep.
the rest. It went away.
Yeah, everything looks good in this end, so we're all okay. Here we go. Now we're getting some comments though. They're coming through now. I don't know why the delay today. There's some kind of
Well,
delay. I
we
don't know
don't
what
know.
the deal is.
I don't
Well,
see it.
sometimes actually, like right now the time is right, but sometimes it'll actually fast forward I don't know how to describe this, but the timer it's going on is not right.
Yeah.
But I know today's been a weird day because I had, church meeting this morning at 7, and that's on Zoom. And so my mic's got to be set a certain way there, my camera. Then I did a T-Bone's staff meeting at 10, and that was also Zoom, but for some reason my camera wasn't working. And then I had my Facebook at noon, the show at noon, the steakhouse, and that was okay. Although the audio didn't start right away, but once I rebooted, it was fine. And
Yeah.
I just had a Microsoft Teams call to Melbourne, to Australia, for the last hour before I came on, and that was wonky. My audio was messed up there on my microphone. So what's going on? I have some solutions, but I have to dig out some equipment out of my storage, and
Well,
I really had it all packed. Well, I had it all packed for Kansas City, but I'm not going anytime soon. So I was like, well, I guess I could go ahead and unpack it. So all good.
well,
But
and
so sorry about that.
the point is, so much is being used, so much of the internet and is being used that who knows what's going on. But yeah, well, I see Ryan is posting. Get out there.
Yeah,
And go
it's all coming through now. They're starting to come through now, so it's all good.
Okay, that's good. That's the first one I've seen. Of course, I always like to see Ryan. I have to meet him someday.
Well, you probably did back in the day, you just don't remember.
Well, heck no. I've slept a few nights since then.
I know. It's like when you went out with all those those girls from high school, my wife's friends, and you were hanging out with them. All the kids. About 3, 4, well, longer than that, about 6 months ago, Mom went out in a happy hour with my wife and her sister and all their high school mates. And my mom was tagging along, and she said, "You didn't know all of them. You forgot. They all knew you, though."
Well, of course, everybody knows
remember you.
Everybody knows me.
You're unforgettable, Mom. Unforgettable. Yeah. I mean, you're like a celebrity in Elkhart. It's like when I went to the Buffalo Wild Wings in Elkhart, Indiana. I went to the Buffalo Wild Wings in Elkhart, Indiana, and they all knew Uncle Bobby. I go to Antonio's, they all know you.
Course, because they knew Uncle Bobby first. Antonio's did, but and I know the owner of Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, they used to carpool with them, and when Michelle was a young squirt. But anyway, and I had somebody send me a text a little while ago saying, "I want to be like you when I grow up." She was commenting on the picture I posted of the wine and the wine opener, and she said, "I want to be like you when I grow up." And I'm thinking, oh my God, poor thing. She's got high school kids. She teaches at Concord, and her husband does too. And I'm like, I said, I don't think I can teach you anything. I think you already know it all. So there you go. So yeah, I am a legend in my own time or in my own mind. I think it's
yes, you are.
It's a legend in my own mind.
if you joined us, we're in virtual happy hour here. This is Mom Cam. It's Mom is in Elkhart, Indiana, and she's kicking it and just got a new wine opener and a glass of vino, and she's all good and living the dream. Living the dream in Elkhart, Indiana. Is that the motto of Elkhart, Indiana? Living the dream? Is that what it is? Or
yeah, well, I'm not sure. There's many dreams. There are sometimes nightmares here, but anyway. The point is, I just picked up my 2-month supply of my wine club, so I'm really living the dream. So
Ryan says you can bring Dave Marie. And leave me at home.
Oh,
yeah, that's leave me at home.
Ryan's saying. Sam can come. Yeah, well, Sam hadn't been to the farm in forever. Danny's the only one that's been there.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do. So. Yeah. There you go. Well, if you like to join us in the virtual green room, there it is right there. Virtual happy hour.
Take me off, Danny.
Okay, well I will. All right, so don't behave yourself in the green room, Mom. Don't be causing any trouble over there, okay?
Well,
I'm gonna mute you so I can't hear you cussing out the TV or whatever you're doing.
Well, the point is there's no 79-year-old in the green room, so I keep pleading my case. And I get nowhere.
It's a bad room. So again, any old. Here's the deal: we're hunting for a dude between the ages of 79 and 82-ish, 78, 82-ish, who has no comb over and does not use any kind of apparatus to breathe, and actually can shuffle instead of you don't have to walk, but shuffling's okay. And no, you can't use an apparatus to walk with. You got to be able to shuffle at least. You'll be all good. And you got to be able to go to the casino. You'll be set. So all good. All right. Enjoy, Mom. Love you.
I love you too. Tell Gamer
Yes, Mom. Yeah, Gamery, she says hello. My wife comes back. Yeah, hello, Mom. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. As the wife has ordered wings here, as there's Miller time out there. Yeah, Nate, I sorry I didn't see you today on the Steakhouse show until late, and when I did, it was you may have already been gone, but good to see you out there today. Okay, let's see. What else happened today? Well, today, honestly, the crazy part is, unless it's Sunday, this is a lot like the baseball season. I'm sure some of the guys that Nate Sampson's out there, he may be able to echo this. A lot of times in the baseball world, the only day you know it's a weekend is on the weekend, like Sunday when you have a day game. If you play a day game, and most ballparks do, you know it's Sunday. Other than that, they all run together with it. This isolation thing, day number 39, it's trying to run together a bit. Although I did talk to a mate in Australia this morning in Victoria, and a little bit more and more, they're a lot like us, maybe a little ahead. They're slightly ahead of the curve with us. They've been through 2 waves of this thing already, and but definitely getting a little better still. They're also basically doing absolutely zero. But the days all do kind of run together. Let's see here. Yeah, Ryan, very funny. Ryan chimes in that the job of no shuffling and no oxygen apparatus is the Big 12 commissioner. You're right. It should be the Big 12 commissioner. I'm going to slide over and I'm going to pull the microphone out. This is going to get really loud when I pull this out. So, yeah. What? I'm going to take out the microphone because my wife's going to join me now. And there we go.
Is Ryan Hyatt talking about the Big 12 commissioner?
No, we were talking about mom needing no comb-overs and a guy who could not use a breathing apparatus, nor had to be able to, could shuffle, but couldn't, didn't want to walk her. They had to be able to shuffle.
Is this for her date?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, either he has to properly walk, but if he can't walk, he can at least shuffle, but no devices.
But he can't walk too fast because she's got to be able to keep up with him.
Well, no, they got to be able to her.
Yeah, well, maybe so.
This is my lovely wife, Gay Marie, WD-40, as she joins us here on the show. It's the couples segment of the show here. I'm going to put the happy hour, virtual happy hour script right there.
If you wanted another.
Yeah, beer. Probably so.
Should I go get one more?
Sure, while you're doing it, and I'll bring her right back in a moment. What do you guys do today? What's going on? How you doing? I'm going to pull this back down again. There we go. For this on the fly. What are you guys up to? How you doing? What is your beverage of choice today? Chime in. Let us know. We haven't really gone over any of this because I've been so busy today. Georgette, good to see you. Yes, we'll get to that in a moment. My wife. Actually, that's a thing. I'm going to talk about that. That's actually a good topic that we're going to talk about in just a moment. I'll bring that up in a second. But again, if you want to join us live, there's the green room. You can go to that link, boom, and we'll know that you're here. We'll pull you on the show and chat a bit, have a bit of a chat, as we say in Australia. Just kind of enjoy this whole day number 39 for us, day number 40 plus for wherever you're watching. Yeah, Georgette, we will first bottle wine of the way. I'll get that up in a moment. Wait for my wife to come back. But interesting, and I saw this too, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this up, what she said. Because I knew my wife had Georgette, who's watching us in the Chicagoland, Indiana area, says, can you get some Pepto so she doesn't have any bad dreams like last night? And my wife apparently had some bad dreams, wonky dreams, funky dreams, whatever. That's actually a thing. I saw this afternoon in the news after my show was over. I turned the TV back on and had a little background audio going. But one thing I did hear, and they had a guest on, this woman is a pretty respected medical profession, doctor in New York. I mean, she actually had the scrubs on and was actually coming out of a COVID care and was taking the time to talk with the news with Fox. And she talked about with Dana Perino's show today that, boy, am I talking like a conservative or what? I mean, I'm starting to look at Fox and Dana Perino. Fox News and Dana Perino.
Just like the pretty Fox women.
Do you think I voted for George Bush twice? Yes. Or actually 4 times. Anyway, Sorry, not to get political, but again, Georgette's asking what the thing was, and
I
it's
didn't
funny.
tell you why.
No, but here's the deal. My wife had some crazy dreams last night. We had some major storms
We did.
blow through last night around midnight. I mean, shaking the windows. The cat went a little nervous. The dog went under the covers. And they told us it's coming. We knew. You live in Texas, in this part of the country, this time of year, they let you know almost to a T. When they had the tornadoes in the fall, we knew that what block they were going down. You really knew
We could
this.
see the street.
So we knew it was coming our way. It went time by 11:45 at Highland Park, but 11:50 and Preston Hollow. I mean, it's right there. Richardson going to get at 12:05. All that. Well, anyway, this is a real thing, GM. I don't know if you know this, but it's a real thing. Having these bad dreams during COVID, it's actually a real thing. Do you know that?
Yes.
And so, what was your dream, and why was it so bad?
Because I dreamed last night that me, Georgette, and Tracy all got pregnant. I'm surprised he didn't spit out his beer.
Boy, making the Virgin Mary pretty jealous 3 times in a row. How about that?
It was really funny because we were all just kind of fine with it, and
Not only is it a Christmas miracle, it's also an Easter and 4th of July, Halloween, every holiday miracle, and it's also, in some cases, a vodka miracle. I mean, I don't know how that happened.
Well, it was really funny. I think it was because of a combination of 3 things that I had seen last night. I was watching that catastrophe show about the woman who got pregnant. I saw a picture of Tracy with 2 people in a picture, and then I saw something else, and somehow all those things conflated into a dream about me, Tracy, and Georgette all being pregnant at the same time. And yeah, I would think I'd rather be set on fire.
Well, it's actually
no more bad dreams, Georgette.
Are you guys having bad dreams out there? This COVID thing, because it's actually a thing. This woman, this doctor in New York, and I've seen her on before, and I can't remember her name on the top of my head, but there is actually, I don't know if it's actually been named or anything yet, like such and such syndrome.
COVID dreams.
But there is actually apparently, of course, you've heard this with our servicemen and women who've gone through traumatic, what's the word for it? Post-traumatic stress. You often have dreams in those situations. I know, following my accident, car wreck in 2004, I have had a few of those over the years. Anything, and I didn't realize that this was a thing, but lately, for example, not knowing when the season was going to start, or the reoccurring dream of, and we've all had this one, I won't graduate high school on time, or I didn't finish my requirements, or
being late to class.
I had one when I worked at 105.3 at CBS in Dallas where I kept getting fired over and over again. I was just trying to avoid getting fired. The idea was to hide from the boss for as long as I could. I mean, I had that
Office Space.
Yeah, I have those recurring traumatic dreams, and I never really thought about those terms, but I guess we are affected, and I guess you guys are too. Are you guys being affected by what's going on? Are you having wonky dreams? Are you having some crazy arse dreams? I don't know about you.
The teacher crazy dreams are either that you're late for class, or that your class is out of control. And I think I told you this one time that I dreamed once that I was so tired that I came to class, and my boys were doing presentations, and I was so tired that I fell asleep. And the worst thing was that the headmaster, who was Arnie Holberg in my dream, who was not the headmaster at the time, came into my class to observe, and I was sound asleep at the table. That was a terrible dream. That would be awful.
Georgette says she can't sleep because she worries about her daughters who are both in the front lines too. Yeah, I think it's a normal thing right now. I think we're all in my men's group this morning, we're talking about that a bit. I mean, it's anxiety, it's almost like we're all reading Psalms more and more. I mean, we're all throwing out as many of those prayers and thoughts, but I think it's normal. I gotta admit, I haven't had any COVID dreams necessarily. I mean, mine have all been standard things that happen to me, but there are a lot of folks who are involved in this on a daily basis are having some real trouble sleeping, and much like post-traumatic stress syndrome as well.
You've been sleeping pretty well.
I have been. Steph is a nurse in COVID ICU and yes, in a nursing home, both involved in that. Of course, you guys, Georgette, you may know, and a lot of you folks know, my sister is in Denver, and she actually is off the unit this week, but she been on the unit in her hospital oh gosh, off and on the last 3 or 4 weeks. She's been
The
in the COVID unit. So yeah, that would cause me to lose a little sleep as well.
Well, even Joy with delivery and being in contact with so many people in Lubbock, I worry about her just in terms of like if she's staying healthy.
Yes, our oldest is out in Lubbock, and she's actually their restaurant. Ryan may know of Orlando's. It's an Italian restaurant out there in Lubbock. They've been really heavy delivery oriented, and but now they're close to going back at some capacity with Friday.
Yeah, they're opening. I mean, they said they were opening on Friday.
Yeah,
Which
Friday.
How are you going to do that?
Yeah, so Friday they're opening.
She thinks it's done.
And she's, but we're concerned. I mean, granted, restaurant business is a little different than the hospital business, but you're still concerned.
Caroline is the safest person.
Yeah, yes.
Our youngest is the safest person in the world because she doesn't get out of her room.
Yeah, she
does her studying, her socializing, everything within the confines of her little space.
Yes.
And then occasionally she surfaces at mealtime and then she goes right back.
Or when Uber Eats delivers, and that's about it. But yeah, she's able to do all of her little. Well, her school's online, and all of her little her games she does activities. Let's see here. I didn't know this. Georgette is. I didn't know. Did you know that? That Gary had
COVID?
I didn't know that. I was not aware of that. Georgette, not that you're trying to win an award here, but that'd be the first person I know personally that had it, besides maybe me in Australia back in January. But
and he had to have been really high risk, Georgette. That's kind of scary.
I didn't know that. I was not aware
After all the stuff that had happened with his heart and all that. Oh my gosh,
he
would have been on my list of things to pray for.
I can't believe I didn't miss. We must have been in Belize. Perhaps. I don't know.
But we were checking. I mean, we were so checking social media. Well, no, we were because we were freaking out about stuff going south.
My wife has a routine. It's called social media 24/7.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, somebody who teaches full time and is working on a doctorate full
time. My alarm goes off. My alarm goes off this morning. I look over there and her little under her covers. She's got the phone out, checking out what's going on.
I wasn't checking social media. You're worse than I am. He takes it with him to the bathroom.
Now you got to do something in there. No video games. So
it takes him hours. I think he's doing.
When I finally go to sleep, I don't dream, but getting sleep is the issue. Okay, well that's Mom. Maybe you need a mouthpiece like I've got. That might be good for you. Let's see here as we go down the list. Yeah, it is scary, no doubt about it. I didn't know that, Georgette. Give Gary our best. I don't know how did I miss that?
You know what? Gary needs to be like the next. What's the name of that? Like Untouchable or like because the man who can't die. Like we need to get him to be climbing towers because that man is unstoppable.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. He didn't say that's not something that you really publicize either. I did lose a friend last week, but he didn't die because of that. And when our friend posted on there that this gentleman passed, but it wasn't because of that. It was something else.
Well, we lost him. One of our friends lost his dad this week.
Yes, we did late last week. So yes, so that makes some sense. But virtual happy hour here. We're rolling right along. Again, what was I? I'm gonna put this up here. There we go. This is the couples cam right here. I'm gonna put that up. Couples cam. There we go. So the wife and I have had a pretty good week, haven't we? Not too bad.
Every day is paradise view, boss.
Pretty good, right? Not too bad. We got a new door, new kitchen door, back door. We're all excited about that.
Can't see it in this picture.
No, you can't.
The other side of the house.
To the right, but we're all excited about that. And it only took them
outdoor rug.
12 months or.
No, yeah, it literally took almost 12 months for them to get that together. It's ridiculous.
So we're all excited about that. Georgette says he is 100% back to normal. There we go. Good.
So he's causing trouble. We love Gary.
Yes, we do. We love them both. Very, very dear friends of ours up in the Indiana area, up there just outside of Chicago area. They're in Chicago's area, Chicagoland, on the Indiana side. But I'm glad you are along. I don't really have a lot prepared, although that dream thing did come up. And it's funny that you mentioned that earlier, Georgette, because that was.
I commented today to Tracy that I dreamed that the three of us had gotten pregnant.
Well, that again, that's a miracle of miracles there. But it's. I think a lot of folks just in general are going through, and I was just talking to my mate in Australia a while ago, and he was saying his 8-year-old, he goes, at first he was a little apprehensive. He's like, what do I know about teaching 8-year-olds? I'm a CEO of a company. And then about week 3 or 4, it is like, hey, I'm used to it by now. You can kind of get used to anything, but there's just still something unsettling about it. We still have a bit of a unsettling. I want to say, I don't mean in a bad way, but it's definitely a different system we're under. I mean, no doubt about it. You can walk from your bedroom to your office and bypass the commute. I guess that's the way it is. Good to see David out there.
It's nice
and
not to have to put gas in the car.
Nick as well. I'm sorry, Mick. When I say Nick. Yeah, it is good. We haven't put gas in the car. When's the last time you filled up? Well, if you don't drive, I filled up in gas March
Before we left for Belize.
11th or 12th. I think the 12th was a Thursday.
Mine was before that.
Yeah, it was a Thursday.
And I'm the one we're using my car more when we run to the store or run to deliver something to mom and dad.
No, I mean, I think
I'm still having on gas.
I burnt more gas in my golf cart in Belize than I have in the how many 46 days that we've not driven our car. So, or not driven it, but not been commuting there.
I need to ask you some embarrassing questions.
Why you want to ask me embarrassing questions?
Well, because it'd be good for people. You're always the one asking the questions. I should ask you the questions.
March 17th for the Skinnerskis. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
So you want to make me look like a knucklehead? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, just good question. People things.
Why would I want to be embarrassed about anything more than I'm already embarrassed about? I'm doing this right now. That's pretty embarrassing as it is. I mean, what kind of knucklehead just turns his Facebook Live on and starts talking about nothing in particular?
That's what Jerry Seinfeld's show is about. Nothing.
This guy does. Oh, you want to join us in the virtual green room? We can do that for you. And let's actually, while I'm here, I want to see what's going on in that. I don't know why I'm having such trouble navigating things here, but Mom's got us on Facebook. That's why. Okay.
Michael Jackson or the Cars.
For what? For my softball team?
Which is better?
Oh, which is better? I mean,
who would you rather have play at your birthday party?
The Cars, of course. I love Michael Jackson at the time, but I think he probably did not age nearly as well mentally as maybe Rick Ocasek did. Or was it Benjamin Orr? Who's not with us anymore? Ocasek's no longer with us, right? Or is it Orr that's not with us?
Bruce Springsteen or Billy Joel?
Oh, Springsteen.
Oh, you got that one wrong.
Yeah, Springsteen there. No, sorry, good to see you, Craig, up there in Winnipeg.
I think our food is at the door.
Well, you better go get it.
No, in a minute.
Okay, well, you better go get it. Continue. Anything else? Stuck.
Spring, summer, winter, or fall. Best fit. Which season is your favorite? Football or baseball?
Mom chimes in Air Supply. Very, very funny, Mom. Very funny.
Rat or White Snake?
A White Snake, for
Ew.
sure. For sure. White.
Both great. Well, White Snake had the chicks on the Cars.
Georgette says ABBA. Yes.
ABBA.
Yes. Yeah. ABBA's
the queen.
Mamma
Mia.
One of my favorite movies is Muriel's Wedding, which it's an Australian movie with Toni Collette and
Carry On.
Yes, I'll carry on while you get our wings. And it, if you've ever seen Muriel's Wedding, it's one of the all-time Australian, more modern classics. It came. Oh, there goes the wind blows the pretzels. But the basic premise of the movie Muriel's Wedding is the life revolving on ABBA songs and ABBA's soundtrack. It's kind of I don't want to say prequel, Georgette, but it's kind of if Mamma Mia it's kind of Mamma Mia related, but not really. It's a totally different story. But these two girls grow up listening to ABBA songs. The entire soundtrack of the movie is ABBA songs. And again, it's Australian. There's a couple Australian movies I love. That's one of them. And that was the first movie I saw about Australia before I ever went. And kind of made me romanticize with, well, that looks like a cool place to go. And kind of had my view of what Australia might look like when I got there. And of course, to my chagrin, it pretty much wasn't. But oh well. There's also one. Gosh, there's several of them, but that one is probably the big. There's several others, but that is one of my all-time favorite Australian. Probably a top 5 movie for me, and it's a stop down. But it's an Australian movie, Muriel's Wedding. It's all ABBA songs, and so yeah, ABBA was very big in Australia. I've told this on the broadcast in Kansas City. I may have told it in Gary too, Georgette, but back in 78, 77-ish, ABBA kind of hit the stage big over in Europe and to a slight degree in America. But they went to Australia on a tour after they won that. There was an old school I can't remember the name of the contest. It was a European music contest, and they also had a version in Australia. And they came over and played over in Australia and really followed their first hit around the country. And they became huge in Australia and still are. They're not Australian, obviously, but they became huge. They're probably the biggest imported act ever in Australia was ABBA. And still, there's folks say 35 and up, even probably 40 and up. ABBA was part of their growing up at some point in all in the radio era. It was not in comedy or ABBA songs, played all over. Dancing Queen's a huge player in Australia, huge player. So, all right, let's see here. Rhino didn't have a lot of poor broadcast prep for me today, Ryan. Trying to get to work. See you Friday, mate. Yeah, I'll have a little more for us on Friday. I'm going to try to get the video of my wife breaking the tequila bottle if I can find that. But all good, Ryan. Check out Ryan Hyatt Media tonight. Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. He'll be on there talking some Big 12, some West Texas culture, and Red Raider sports. All that from Ryan Hyatt Media. Good to see him out there, mate. Good to see you. See you Friday. And let's see here. We've got Mom saying Bill Gates money had to live in Perth for 6 months a year. The cotton farming keeps me. Yeah, well, if I had Bill Gates money, I'd live like a different place every week. I'd like just move around, pick all my favorite places. But yes, Perth is it's hard to explain. In Australia, I was just telling the story to my buddy today. His mom says bye. I was at a restaurant, a real nice restaurant, trendy restaurant there in Melbourne, back in January, February, early February. And I just was getting healthy. I just got over the cough I had. I had this dry, terrible cough. And I swear it was the COVID, but I never know until I get the antibody test. But anyway, I'm in this restaurant, getting really good service. They treat me well, and I'm having this phenomenal Italian dinner. And the bartender asked me, "Well, where you from, mate?" Because he knew I was from the States. And I said, "Well, from Texas." "Well, what are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I'm over in Australia quite a bit. I spend most of my time in Perth." He looked at me like he'd seen a ghost, or he'd seen someone with his head off, walking around with his head off. He's like, "What? You're a sand grubber, mate?" I'm like, going, "What?" And Western Australia being so far out west, it's about 2,000 miles from Sydney. Very isolated, but a very beautiful country. And the Western Australians tend to have a bit of a Texan thing about them. Very, very territorial, very pro the West, very love Western Australia. They're very proud of the fact that they're way out in the middle of nowhere. And I guess to a degree, it's kind of like Texas. We're kind of proud we're kind of down the middle of nowhere, I guess. It's kind of the same thing. But I always get funny looks over there. I could be in a pub, in a restaurant, anywhere in the country, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, and or Canberra even. I'll say I love Perth, and they'll look at me like, "Are you serious?" But it's one of those places, until you've been there, you don't quite get it, because most Australians have never been to Perth. There's a better chance of an Australian going to Bali than he is going to Perth. That's how crazy it is. I've met more people from Sydney who've been to Bali than have been to Perth. That's how it is. Most people in Australia do not go that direction. Wings smell yummy, which means about time to shut this thing down. We've been on just under an hour, a little shorter today, but all good. Got a few more moments here. What else do I got? Let's see here. Comments, questions, items of note. Yes, but that's a true story, though, that the band ABBA is huge in Australia. Huge. And there's an entire movie. So, Georgia, you should check that out, Muriel's Wedding. Again, Toni Collette, it was her first big hit, cinema-wise, worldwide. It was not really worldwide release, but That's where I first saw her. Now you see her in all kinds of stuff now. Also, what is the other woman's name? Was on 6 Feet Under. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on her name now. You'd recognize her. And she was also on the ABC show a few years ago. Was it not? The one about the family out in California that had the winery and all that. I can't remember the name of that show. Had Rob Lowe in it as well. Anyway, thoughts on the season. Well, several. I'm beginning to think there's going to be a baseball season sooner than later. I've told the listeners, the viewers today, that I feel like there's some good signs out there, Georgette. The KBO, the Korean League, will start playing next week. They're playing spring games now. They're playing in Taiwan right now in the CPBL. Japan will be playing in front of this is all no fans. Although the KBO will start letting a handful of fans in initially. And I believe the CPBL in at least a month's time will start letting folks in. That encourages me. I'm encouraged by that. I'm also encouraged by the fact that Major League Baseball appears, now if you read between the lines, have a game plan besides just a bunch of rumors. I've kind of thrown out things against the wall and see what's going to stick. It appears to be, and if what you're reading is correct, the plan for the realigned 3-division format with initial playing probably in pods and eventually moving sometime in late July, early August to ballparks in their cities these teams are from, is gaining traction. And from what I read this afternoon and what a tweet I saw earlier from one of the guys who writes for the Rangers, they're prepared almost association, which that's the union that governs baseball. They're ready. They're ready to go, and they're ready to put that proposal forward. And when they do, that means that we'll be closer. Now, what it means to the American Association, I still believe we'll play minor league baseball on that level. What I think is going to happen to the MIL, the minor league affiliate baseball, Georgette, is that you won't see baseball in places like South Bend or King County this year, affiliated ball, but you will see indie ball. I think that's a big thing. I think you're going to see it, and I think it's going to be good for our league to be kind of on our own standing. But there's some things still in play, but I do believe that we will see baseball, and I would imagine you'll see within 2 weeks some kind of announcement, more or less, what the date will be. But you saw the announcement last week, a July-September window. I still think that's possible. A lot of it depends on how the next 14 days go. If Kansas City and both Missouri and Kansas side, if they both can survive the 14-day phase 1 and go to phase 2, I think there's a really good chance that come June 1, we'll be looking forward to counting down to 4 weeks to play baseball. But again, maybe I'm looking at it on the bright side, because I've waffled back and forth personally. My wife can tell you this. I've waffled all over the place, good, bad, and otherwise. Will we play? Will we won't? But I feel better now that some restrictions have been lifted. I'm not saying you heard me on Monday. If you guys heard me on Monday, my feeling was, I got my own personal about what we should and shouldn't lift, and I'm still very fearful of being out there and being exposed. And politically, you'd probably be shocked that I would say that, but I have a lot of conservative friends, and we talked about this on Monday. But from a baseball standpoint, I'm more encouraged than I was maybe a week ago. Maybe it's because we're closer to May. But again, the scary thing is, and I was telling the guys in Australia today on the conference call, that it just takes one little outbreak, and good. I'm glad it made your day. One little outbreak, and we're back to square one again. But it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen. And I did a little reading this morning. If you watch my show at noon, my Facebook Live show with the Kansas City T-Bones, I covered a little bit of this to a degree what happened in 1918 in the Spanish flu, which wasn't from Spain, by the way, began in Kansas, unfortunately. That Major League Baseball had a real mess on their hands, and they didn't realize it. Babe Ruth caught the Spanish flu twice that year, once in spring training in Arkansas, of all places, up in Hot Springs. Then he caught it again in Boston right during the early part of May, around Labor Day. I'm sorry, Memorial pardon me. And in the fall of 1918, as they were close to the armistice, which happened in November, World War I comes to the end in November. The World Series is in October, early October. The Cubs and Red Sox played in Boston, and you had all these troops coming back home in Boston Harbor, and all these folks getting together to watch the World Series, and that provided a whole new, almost putting gas on the fire, so to speak. And that was one of the things I think helped kick this 1918 second wave, late of 18 into 19, the Spanish flu. Those troops coming back home, won the World Series, people out celebrating the armistice, all those celebrations, World Series, armistice parades, all that. Then boom, it exploded another wave in 19. So I think that you don't want to have that happen. And I'm no doctor, and that's never going to be one. But that being said, there is some recent history last century to be through this before. And I think what we're seeing is until we're all, no matter what venue you are, be it big league ballpark, minor league ballpark, until we're at that position, we're all still wait and see, but we're closer. We're closer. And I think that, and I will say this, Georgette, too, you'll like this. The league that we're with, the American Association's got some phenomenal leadership. Our commissioner and our executive director, both great job. And really the whole league just really been positive with this whole thing. And the message has been, hey, now is not the time for baseball, but when it does come around, we'll be ready to go. So hopefully we will be. Let's see here. What do I miss here? Little Joey, Holly, Lisa, others. Glad you guys are out there. I'm trying to wrap it up. The dinner's here. But, I again, I will admit, and it's like my wife and I said a while ago, I'm more into Psalms maybe than I've been before. And, of course, I'm always a praying fella anyway. But these are tense times, and I'm a little nervous. I'll admit it. I'm a little nervous. But, we got to go forward at some point. We can't go backwards. We got to go forward and keep plugging away. And I think that'll happen. I just try to stay positive as best we can. But weather-wise, pretty good. Although last night we survived the earth-shaking thunder and lightning, but all good. It's that time of year here in the Lone Star State. Going to see Michael as well, just talking about your wife. While to go. Good to see you out there as well. But hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. Again, I pause. Wait, it's Wednesday. I should know it's my busiest day of the week, even though I don't even know what the heck day is. But glad you guys joined us wherever you're watching. If you're watching on replay in Australia, glad you are. Let's see here. What was this? Got a little glare there. What is it? Sorry about that. There we go. Oh, just my brother said the RV companies in Oklahoma, the RV capital of the world. That's good news to see that going back up again. Again, I think this is going to take a lot of faith in each other, a lot of faith in the man above, which should be our first and foremost faith, and faith in each other. And the most important thing, I said this on Monday, I firmly believe that we're in the spot because of certain factors that were beyond one beyond our control at all at the moment. We'll worry about whether I love each other, have empathy, we're all going through that. So crazy. My oldest, youngest, my wife get effective effects we do from coming to from there. Good, he calls me the voice, of course, the voice of the Perth Heat. Appreciate it, mate. I hope you're doing well. I hope you survived your long weekend as well. Let's see here. What else happened? Your breakup. Huh? Well, anyway, maybe I'm breaking up. All right, all good. We do this Friday. 11 o'clock. More on 9 o'clock will come your way. Adult beverages. We'll have the more of the Snyder's chips, and we'll talk, chat, whatever. Hopefully, I can dig up the video of my wife, one or two. I'm not sure which one it was, but we'll do that on Friday, perhaps, and just have some more fun. Maybe dig in the TikTok vault for the T-Bones, and who knows what dog cam, mom cam, you name it, cam. We'll all be doing cam on Friday, our virtual happy hour from here on the patio. Hoping the weather be nice as well. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. God bless. Love all you guys. Please be safe. We'll see you on Friday, everybody.